happening right now. A fire near downtown Bowling Green results in several businesses and a local school being evacuated. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Morgan Hoover.
And I'm Chris Allen. Yeah, you could probably see the smoke for miles as it came from downtown Bowling Green. You're seeing video of it there on Raven Avenue, just off Veterans Memorial. Smoke billowing for hours. And the fire department saying that it is in the location of where a lot of us remember the ComFuel station there. It is now Valor Oil Company. And Morgan, we could even feel the explosion or whatever it was here at our studios downtown.
Amazing. Right now, we know there are no confirmed injuries. We do know that a local school, St. Joseph's Parochial School, was evacuated as a precaution. Several businesses in the area evacuated as well. But this is a developing situation, Chris. We have crews on the scene still working to gather more information. We know some of the roads in that area are closed down as well, so avoid the area if you can. But we'll continue to keep you updated on air and online as this develops.
Yeah, as you can see, it took place right there, right behind the railway museum. And that, you know, right downtown Bowling Green, people said from miles they could see the smoke billowing up. So they've got most of that smoke contained. We're not really sure how much more containment there needs to be done, but fire crews are going to be at that site for a pretty good while, I would say, since we're talking about those kind of fuels and, you know, something like that. We were talking gasoline and fuels like that. That's always going to be an issue.
Absolutely.
At least the weather wasn't as bad as far as the breezes like we had yesterday, because that fire could have spread very easily. But things are very quiet right now as we look live from our AAA Systems live cam. I've got it positioned there where you can see just beyond the trees is where that incident took place, and everything is pretty quiet right now. A clear sky, and we have 53 degrees in downtown Bowling Green. So far, the unofficial high today, 54. I think it'll be bumped up a little bit more once the hourly information comes in from the airport. 39 is where we started this morning. Now we're looking at a chillier night tonight with a clear sky. There may be some patchy frost with a low of 35. And I'll check that rest of the 7-day forecast into Easter weekend in just a few minutes, Morgan.
All right, Chris, to the Hill now. Conservative activist Kyle Rittenhouse is set to speak at Western Kentucky University tonight. His appearance comes as students demand change from the administration. News 40's Michael Ridgway has more.
Some students have come together to vocalize their frustration with the WKU administration. The newly formed For the People advocacy group say they feel the situation has been handled poorly and they want things to look different in the future. Students at Western Kentucky University are pushing for change as a controversial speaker is invited to campus. Kyle Rittenhouse, he was acquitted of all charges after shooting and killing 2 men during a protest in Wisconsin in 2020. The conservative activist was invited to speak at WKU by campus organization Turning Point USA, sparking outrage amongst student groups.
So from the administration, we're really hoping for an acknowledgement in their role and everything. Something that a lot of students have been frustrated with is Western Kentucky University kind of claiming that, hey, we have nothing to do with that at all, when at the end of the day, the student organization that did this is a registered student organization at Western Kentucky University.
The university president has cited the Campus Free Speech Protection Act, which prohibits WKU from disinviting speakers who have been invited by students, faculty, or staff.
The issue that we're really having is bringing somebody with a dangerous history who promotes dangerous ideologies that actively concern and harm your students.
Students hope after today, visible change will come soon.
We want to see lasting, especially from like what we have in our demands, we want to see lasting change implemented systemically in how the way the university is run, but also in who runs the university, whether that's student leaders, administration. We want to see more student leaders in administration that look like us. Those are definitely two of the things we're looking for right now.
Rittenhouse is set to speak at 7 o'clock tonight. We will have a reporter on the scene, and we will bring you more on this event tonight at 10. Morgan?
All right, Michael, thank you very much. A couple of crime alerts now. One man is behind bars after police say they found child pornography in his home. The Kentucky State Police say they searched 25-year-old Briar McCain William Scott's home on Tuesday after an undercover internet crimes against children investigation. Scott was arrested and is now facing 10 counts of distribution of matter portraying a minor in a sexual performance. He is currently being held at the Warren County Detention Center. Any equipment used in these these crimes has been taken to KSP's forensic lab for an investigation as police continue to look into this case. Another man was also arrested on charges related to child sex abuse material. Bowling Green Police Department arrested 51-year-old William Strout after receiving a cyber tip from the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force on Thursday. The information received contained images of child sex abuse material and information that led to Strout's address. That's where it was determined he viewed the images on his electronic devices. Strout was transported to the Warren County Detention Center. He faces 20 counts of possessing matter portraying a sexual performance by a minor. Police have seized all electronic devices from his home. That investigation is still ongoing. And in more local news now, veterans can sometimes go unnoticed and often need the support of their community. For Vietnam veterans, that support needed is no different. Vietnam War Veterans Day, it's Friday, and local organizations are offering help to show their support for those who served our country. We spoke to the commissioner of the Kentucky Department of Veterans Affairs, who tells us how important these resources are.
This is the welcome home that they deserve. So if you look back during the Vietnam War, it was very unpopular. It was one of the first wars that was shown nightly on television. It was a very hot topic, along with other things that was going on in the 60s and 70s. And unfortunately, Vietnam veterans, or those who were serving in the military in general, were not treated with respect.
If you are a veteran or a family member of a veteran and need support assistance with getting your benefits or programs to connect veteran women to resources, you can reach the Kentucky Department of Veteran Affairs. Their information will be on our website. That's at WNKY.com. Well, it's one thing to tell students that the community cares for them, and it's another to actually show and be there for students. Today, that was the case at Warren East High School. Dozens of businesses, organizations, and colleges for Warren East High School's College and Career Fair were there today, giving the students a taste of the real world from factories, veterinarians, cosmetology, and so much more.
It's one thing to tell students that the workforce wants them and the community cares about them. It's another thing when the community shows up and actually shows them, hey, you don't have to come to us, we'll come to you. So it just exposes them to things that some of them just had no idea that they could even dream of something like one of the careers here.
Warren East High School is always looking to connect community businesses and organizations with the students. For more details, visit our website later tonight. The month of March is the month of giving for Jersey Mike's locations across the country, collecting donations for more than 200 local charities. But today is recognized as the Day of Giving, where 100% of all sales at Bowling Green and Glasgow Jersey Mike's locations will go to Kids on the Block. This is the second year in a row that the Kids on the Block organization has been chosen to receive the Day of Giving donations. Last year, walking away with a little over $14,500. This year, they're hoping for more.
We can't do what we do without staff, and a donation like this, that funds like 3/4 of a yearly salary for a puppeteer. So it definitely is great help having this kind of donation.
Kids on the Block organization impacts young lives in our community. To show your support, you can still visit Jersey Mike's. They will be open until 9 o'clock tonight. Still to come on News 40 at 5. Nearly 3.6 million cases of skin cancer are diagnosed, but most cases are curable when caught early. More details on how you can catch your cancer early in just a bit. But first, Chris, what is happening in the weather tonight?
Well, it's going to get a little frosty for some of you out there, and if you've put out any plants for the spring growing season, it could get bitten. I'll have the latest coming up after the break.
Whoa. The unexpected can happen to any of us. That's why SelectQuote makes it easy to get the life insurance coverage you need to protect your family for less than $1 a day.
SelectQuote found me a $500,000 policy for only $16 a month.
We could help you save more than 50% on life insurance.
Visit SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save.
Cut it out. Hi, it's me, Dave Coulier, your favorite uncle from Full House. I'm hosting a new podcast called Full House Rewind, where I get together with some of your favorite Full House stars as we go behind the scenes for some Full House stories you've never heard before. Just go over to Spotify or Apple, search for Full House Rewind, and press that follow button. If you would. It's so easy, a woodchuck could do it. And if you want to watch Full House Rewind, Zeem it. Always local, always free.
Extreme is how I operate. We gotta get them to the room. Let's get an IV started.
Both of our jobs are incredibly extreme. You want me to go first?
No, let me go first. It's not abnormal for me to see someone's face sticking outside of where it should be. Very large lacerations that come in, trauma patients that come in, patients that may put things where they're not supposed to put them. All of these extreme cases lead me to be someone that really can handle anything. What was like your first impression of her?
Well, it was kind of one of those moments where she comes walking down the hallway, you know, the hair flowing, all that stuff. And here she was in her scrubs and her coat and looking all professional. And in that moment, I was concerned about my paramedic first and foremost, of course. And she came in and took great care of him.
I got a good Yelp review. One extreme to the next.
Chris, I have a question real quick before we start. We had these high winds earlier this week. Thankfully, we didn't have that today. That would have really impacted the fire, right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, anytime you have winds as high as they were yesterday, 30 and sometimes gusts to 40, that can take any kind of fire that gets started like that, especially a big one, and start to spread into other, things just being close by, vehicles, buildings. Thankfully, we did not have that today. The winds have been much more relaxed today. In fact, right now, looking at the winds, courtesy of the Kentucky Mesonet Network, are generally from the north and west at about 5 to 10. We have had a few gusts and still seeing some up to 15, but I'm not seeing anything like we saw yesterday at 20, 30, 40 miles per hour. So this is all much better. It is a cool northwest wind that is coming down, but certainly not the kind of stronger winds that we had around the area yesterday. Here's a look downtown from the Bowling Green Ballpark. We're just 9 days away from the 15th season of the Hot Rods. You can see the clear blue sky. We're looking off to the east and a little southeast with some of the high clouds. In fact, this camera is just practically across the street from where that incident happened this afternoon. And you could see earlier billowing black smoke, even infiltrating the infield there at Bowling Green Ballpark. But everything is cleared up now. And occasionally we're still seeing little puffs of smoke that come up every once in a while. This is from our AAA Systems live camera from Reservoir Hill. Looking in that general direction is where that took place. They're still putting out, some of the smolders and some of the, we're talking about fuel. So it's going to take a while to get all that under control completely. 55 is the temperature right now at the Bowling Green Airport with a northwest wind at 8. So the winds are coming in this fashion right across that area and blowing off to the south. So if any smoke does come up, it would blow right over the city of Bowling Green for a bit. Humidity is at 37%, the dew point 29, very dry here because high pressure is in control, and that's the reason why we have seen such a beautiful day, and it's going to remain that way for the rest of today. There's high pressure back to the west about Joplin, Missouri. Now, because the skies will be completely clear tonight, there is that possibility of patchy frost. So again, if you've got plants set out for the spring season, it's going to be iffy whether we get that frost or not, but it's a possibility. Tomorrow, beautiful, more of a southerly flow. It's going to warm us up a little bit more. Sunny and seasonable, we'll call it. Tomorrow night, not as cold. It's going to be closer to upper 30s to low 40s as a warm front begins to lift through the area, and then a much warmer start in here for Friday before our Easter weekend gets underway. Good Friday looks great, by the way. 30 35 tonight, clear and cold with patchy frost possible. And then as we go through the next several days, beautiful weather through Good Friday and beyond. We do get into the 70s, slight chance of a shower late Saturday night, but then we're back to a sunny, happy Easter Sunday, as we'll see a high maybe around 80. Then more showers and thunderstorms becoming likely Monday and Tuesday, which will cool us down just a bit. Weather anytime on your phone or iPad, any device, just download the News 40 weather app. And here's what's coming up tonight on the networks of WNKY.
Shopping pictures.
Whoa. The unexpected can happen to any of us. That's why SelectQuote makes it easy to get the life insurance coverage you need to protect your family for less than $1 a day.
SelectQuote found me a $500,000 policy for only $16 a month.
We could help you save more than 50% on life insurance.
Visit SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save.
With Reynolds Wrap, cooking becomes so easy, you can feel like the chef of your kitchen. Easy prep, easy cook, easy clean. Reynolds Wrap.
It's time to lose the weight for good. Try Golo. No subscriptions, just real results that last.
I've lost 70 pounds, 58 pounds, 22 pounds,
128 pounds.
138 pounds in 9 months. Crazy, right?
It's time to put dieting behind you and get your health and vitality back.
Once you start this plan and you do what you're supposed to do, you are going to feel amazing. You're going to have a new life.
Change your life now at Golo.com. Enough with the calorie counting, carb cutting, diet fatigue, and stress. Just taking one Golo release capsule with 3 balanced meals a day has been clinically proven to repair metabolism, optimize insulin levels, and balance the hormones that make weight loss easy. Release works with your body, not against it, so you can put dieting behind you and go live your life. Head to Golo.com now to join the over 2 million people who have found the right way to lose weight and get healthier with Golo.
We are still continuing to learn more tonight about a fire near downtown Bowling Green, but I want you to take a look at this photo behind me that we are getting in. We're continuing to get images from people in the community of this fire. You can see the smoke billowing right there. That happened earlier this afternoon. This is near it's at the Valor Oil. We're still looking to gather more details. We do know that no injuries have been reported. Crews are currently trying to contain the fire. We know some businesses and homes were evacuated. They're all presumed safe right now. We know that St. Joseph's Parochial School was also evacuated just as a safety precaution. Once the fire is complete, the Bowling Green Fire Department tells us that they will investigate what caused this fire. We still do not know, but we are continuing to work more. We have crews on the scene there right now. Some roads in that area are still closed. You're asked to stay away from the area if possible. Lots of traffic near there as well. We'll continue to follow this. You can learn more on our website. That is WNKY.com. I want to switch gears to health news now. 2 celebrities have come forward this month with a diagnosis of skin cancer. Model Christy Brinkley and fitness icon Richard Simmons both say they've been treated for basal cell carcinoma. Every year in the U.S., there are an estimated 3.6 million new cases of this disease diagnosed. But when it's called early, most cases are curable. In tonight's Health Minute, what this type of cancer looks like on skin and how you can protect yourself. It's the most common type of skin cancer, but basal cell carcinoma is also one of the most easily cured when detected and treated early.
Often because they present without any significant major issues, like it's not necessarily painful. Oftentimes they can be ignored.
Basal cell carcinoma can look different from one person to another. These pictures from the Skin Cancer Foundation show the warning signs, including an open sore that does not heal, a shiny bump or nodule that can be pearly or clear, or another color, and can be mistaken for a normal mole. A scar-like area that is flat white, yellow, or waxy in color. A reddish patch or irritated area. A small pink growth with a slightly raised, rolled edge and a crusted indentation in the center. Sun-exposed areas are where these cancers are most often found, says dermatologist Susan Masick with Ohio State University's Wexner Medical Center.
Places like the face, and particularly the nose, the lips, the ears, but anywhere on the face is fair game, as well as sun-exposed areas on the arms and the hands, as well as the upper shoulders and back.
Masick says to protect skin by wearing sun protective clothing, using sunscreen every day. Reapply it every 2 to 3 hours. Sooner than that if you're sweating or swimming. And replace sunscreen every year. An expired product may not offer as much protection. If you find anything on your skin that's new or changing, see a doctor. Well, coming up next, after the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed in Baltimore, Kentucky lawmakers are concerned if it could happen here. We'll have their reaction after this.
J.C. Kirby and Son Funeral Chapels.
Whoa. The unexpected can happen to any of us. That's why SelectQuote makes it easy to get the life insurance coverage you need to protect your family for less than $1 a day.
SelectQuote found me a $500,000 policy for only $16 a month.
We could help you save more than 50% on life insurance.
Visit SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save.
After the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore Tuesday morning, lawmakers in the Commonwealth are worried it could happen here too. Grayson Passmore has more.
What happened in Baltimore today could easily happen in Kentucky.
In fact, similar incidents have happened in the Commonwealth. In 2012, a ship carrying rocket parts from the Decatur, Alabama area to Cape Canaveral, Florida, hit the Egners Ferry Bridge, connecting Marshall and Trigg counties. It caused a 322-foot section to collapse into Kentucky Lake.
There's several dollars set aside to make sure the lights on our Kentucky bridges are properly functioning.
Thankfully, no one was hurt then. But Chairman of the Kentucky Senate Transportation Committee, Senator Jimmy Higdon, says anytime you have ships going under bridges, something like this could happen, which he says will no doubt lead to many discussions in Frankfort.
How could this have been prevented? What can we do in the future with future bridge projects to make them safer?
Over the years, there have been dangerous incidents on other Kentucky bridges, also carrying major traffic. In 2020, a fire shut the Brent Spence Bridge down for days in northern Kentucky. That same year, a coal barge struck the I-275 Carroll Lee Cropper Bridge in Boone County. There was no damage, but structural engineer Tracy Mitchell says the ship that hit the bridge in Baltimore was much heavier.
Cargo ship that big, that large, all that weight, even though it's only going very, very slow, that mass, no bridge abutment, no bridge pier is ever going to be able to resist all that force moving forward.
While tragic, Mitchell says if this happened during rush hour, it could have been catastrophic.
Well, switching gears to exciting tech news now, as some Kentucky high school students have put a new spin on an old product. They've designed a new toothbrush to help people with unsteady hands like those with Parkinson's disease. Keith Berry-Golick has the details.
Patty Schneider is writing birthday cards for her nieces and nephews. That might not sound like a big deal, but
I have Parkinson's.
A disease that can cause tremors.
I do have tremors occasionally. And the reason I'm on the walker now is my balance is getting a little iffy at times.
It means something as simple as brushing your teeth is not that simple.
I'd had little tremors my adult life.
Schneider doesn't shake much, but she knows that her condition could always get worse.
It can be hard for people my age to understand what it means to get old. But for 4 high school students in Northern Kentucky, they took that as a challenge.
It's personal for student Reagan Farkas.
Because I have a lot of unsteadiness with my hands, so sometimes just simple things like missing my mouth when I'm eating or something like with a fork, or hitting my gums when I'm brushing my teeth.
Farkas imagined a toothbrush holder with a handle strap.
The idea is to make it so that you can't lose it, you can't drop it, easy to grasp, easy to control.
With a little help from 101-year-old Dwight Harris, Farkas and other students developed a prototype the residents here are testing.
It was an amazing experience. I'm very impressed with the girls.
The students aren't sure what's next for their project, but the people here at Magnolia Springs hope it can help people outside their community too.
And I appreciate you so very much.
Well, stay with us. We'll have a final look at your forecast coming up right after this.
Shopping with insurance.
Whoa. The unexpected can happen to any of us. That's why SelectQuote makes it easy to get the life insurance coverage you need to protect your family for less than $1 a day.
SelectQuote found me a $500,000 policy for only $16 a month.
We could help you save more than 50% on life insurance.
Visit SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save.
There has never been a better time to join AARP. This special offer gives you exclusive access to hundreds of AARP discounts, programs, and services that will add real value to your life. You can get discounts on glasses and eye exams, save on prescription drugs not covered by Medicare. You can also save on travel, hotels, restaurants, and more.
I didn't know that.
Call now to join AARP. 1 year for just $12.
AARP offers financial tips, career resources, and tools that may help you avoid identity theft and scammers.
That's good to know.
AARP has fought to protect your Social Security, Medicare, and more. Now you know how AARP helps people like us take on today.
Join AARP. 1 year for just $12. Save 25% off the regular price. You'll get AARP the magazine plus a second membership for anyone in your home. And you get the AARP mobile app that connects you to local events. Plus, this insulated trunk organizer.
Call 800-944-8191.
All right, Chris, we are continuing to learn more about this fire. I mean, take a look at that image behind us.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty incredible.
Wow.
This from a viewer. Polo Hoffman is his name. Want to make sure he gets credit.
Yes.
And look at the not only the billows of smoke, but in this one you can clearly see the fire itself. And it's not right there at the ComFuel pumps, but where Valor Oil is
Right.
located, the building next to it.
Right, and we're learning a little bit more. I've just learned that hazmat crews are working on containing the fuel runoff as a result, and again, no injury.
I have nothing to say to the other defendant.
Find your own life.